What is up, everybody? Will back again with video 2 for my Amazon course review experience, whatever, just following my journey through Amazon private labeling. This video is basically, let me go back. So the whole reason I'm starting this series is to help people and to give you my knowledge through my experience, and for you to see my needy dog right here. He needs to be walked. I want to take you guys on my journey, my experience, share my knowledge with you guys, and help you make hopefully an educated decision whether to A, purchase not only Tanner's course but any course about private labeling, and B, make sure you know what you guys are getting yourself into, which is what this video is going to be about. So don't quit your day job day 1 or even day 30 after you've purchased this course. I honestly wouldn't quit your day job until you've had 2 or 3 months of success. Don't quit until you see a couple months of recurring profit income and you've really solidified your spot. And I would probably suggest you have a couple products launched, because I mean, all it really takes is for one of your products to just fail, and you don't want to do that. I think it was Warren Buffett who said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So yeah, don't do that. Diversify. First thing I want to cover is, you really want to prepare a budget. A lot of these courses, overhyped, $10,000, $20,000 a month, every 2 months, whatever. But what about your living expenses? What kind of situation are you in? What state are you in? What taxes are you paying? You really have to incorporate all of that and not just think, oh my gosh, this is going to be an amazing course, it's going to make me rich really quick. It's not. So right off the bat, the course is $497. Of course, I'm going to say it's worth it because I've already made that money back. And honestly, if you've taken the course and you're just patient with it, you can probably earn that back within the first 4 to 6 months. Not guaranteed, because all it takes is for you to pick the wrong product, but if you're patient, you'll probably pick the right product. On top of that, this course, you only pay for the course. You're not paying for all the things that we suggest you use. And by we, I mean Tanner in his course and what most of the guys who are making lots of money, the softwares they use. So to sell professionally on Amazon, or to do what's called FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, you have to pay a monthly subscription fee of, it's $39.99, but $40 a month. Which is nothing once you get going, but if it takes you a couple months and that's like an extra month on top of your other expenses, it can kind of rack up. So that's something to include. Now the research software that we use is called Jungle Scout. So Jungle Scout, it's kind of like, it's all one thing, but there's 2 different forms, if that makes sense. So the first one is called a web app. Basically, you do your research. I think you can do it on your phone. I haven't done that yet. I do all my research on my laptop. But basically, it's on the laptop. You just, type in www.junglescout, whatever it's called, I forget. You log in, and then you have the web app. Don't worry about what it looks like. Don't worry about the details. But it is kind of like a requirement for the product research. There are other ones, but that's the one I use. That's the one I suggest. So the web app, the one I have, is the startup version. It's the cheapest version. It used to be $29 a month, but I pay $39 a month. I'm not sure if there was like a, your first month is cheaper. I don't know. And then the second form is what's called the Chrome extension. Now, if you don't use Google Chrome, just like install Chrome and then just install it as an extension. Now there are 2 versions of this. I again bought the cheaper one because the more expensive one I didn't really see the need for it, and I've already got a product that's good from the cheaper version, so I don't see why you need the more expensive version. Anyway, the cheaper version is $97. It's a one-time payment, but still it's $100 on top. So we're already looking at $600. It's almost $700 right now. And then of course I want to cover the investment of your product. Now, a lot of people are only going to look at the first month or the first batch investment, which is definitely something you should concentrate on, because you don't know if it's going to be good or not until it launches. You really just don't. You can only calculate so much. But you should keep enough in your pocket to see if it does do really well, you want to be able to have some money to buy the next batch as soon as you can. Because the way ranking works, not to get too much into detail, but it's like anything. If you have a product and it does really well, demand's really high, people want it. And so the way Amazon ranks you, one of the ways is to, if people want it, your sales are really high, they're going to put you on the top 3 pages. Your goal is to be on page 1. This has happened to me. But if you run out, because you could only afford, let's say 200 units, but the demand for that month was 400, you need to compensate for that. So, again, that's kind of getting into something separate. That's like reorder point calculation. That's, studying market trends. And you don't really know sometimes until it's too late, which is what happened in my case. Like my product that's doing really well, product 3, it sold 89 units in one day. I had no idea it was going to do that. But as soon as it did, I cut off all the advertising for it, made it totally organic, and then ordered round 2. And of course in a bigger amount. But anyway, you should, I'm going to try and take my advice for the next time. You should plan to, not only budget for 1 month order, but 2 months. So that can cost anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 easily. So just be aware of that. Some things that you should really consider getting as well. An LLC. I have an LLC. It's called WBT Infinite Ventures. The reason why I recommend getting an LLC is because it really it's a good form of protection. I'm no legal expert. All of my information is coming from other sources, which I'm going to post in the description. But you can look it up, and I really encourage you to look up why you should get, anything besides a sole proprietorship. Now, if you start with a sole proprietorship, you can get an LLC later on, get your EIN, and then change it within Amazon, as far as I know. But, if you're selling a lot, especially items that you could probably get sued for, which is something I try to avoid, you definitely want an LLC because it'll protect you, it'll protect your personal assets. They can just, it's just better, and also for tax reasons. But anyway, I bought my LLC on LegalZoom. I bought the $600 package. I wish I didn't. There was a bunch of stuff in there I ended up not needing. But, again, it was in my budget. I had the money. I just wanted to cover all my bases. I think the cheapest package through LegalZoom is $180. Don't quote me on that. But just to give you an idea. And, of course, there are other methods, but I'm not going to cover them. Just, kind of budget accordingly. Not $600, but I would probably budget about $200 for your LLC. Another thing, and I haven't gotten one yet, but I'm going to now that the money's starting to come in and the IRS might be like, is a business bank account. Now, it really depends on, what bank you bank with, where you send your money. I bank with SunTrust, and I'm not even sure how much it costs to open up a business bank account or whatnot. But it's definitely something you should look into, especially when the money comes in, because you really want to, it's really all for tax purposes, to separate your business expenses from your personal expenses, and that way it just makes things easier. Another thing I highly recommend, and this is honestly where all my information is coming from, I should have said a disclaimer in the beginning where I'm not a financial professional and I'm not legally liable for any of the stuff I'm saying right now, but I highly, highly recommend, unless you're a CPA or financial professional, you hire one. I was lucky enough, one of my best friend's moms is a financial professional. She did my taxes last year. I really needed her for when I was driving for Uber and Lyft. But she took care of everything, and she's gonna, of course, take care of me again this year. But I would highly recommend getting that. Now, I pay her over $200, but that's once a year, so it's really not that much. That's like $20 a month, and well worth it. But I do use an app and a software. It's kind of like Jungle Scout, but it's called QuickBooks Self-Employed. I think it's by the company Intuit. I highly recommend that. I'll include a link in the description for that too. It's super easy to use, and it makes everything so much easier. So I highly recommend it. But at the very least, if you don't want to buy the program, at least look into getting a financial advisor or H&R Block or something to at least give you some advice. But in conclusion, you're looking at a pretty high startup cost right off the bat, even after paying the $500 for the course. So you got $500 for the course, the LLC, I would recommend $200 to $600 maximum for investing in that. Your financial advisor, so probably looking anywhere from $150 to $300 a year. So that's not bad, but still some extra cost. Your product, this is going to be the big one. So I would say $1,000 to $2,000 per month for your initial, order. So again, you might want to double it to, don't like spend all of your money on one product. I see this all the time in the group. People are like, I sold my car, took an extra mortgage, all this crazy stuff on their first product. Like, I understand being confident and being faithful in your product, but you should always think long term. Don't think what if, just be like, okay, what's the smartest move? Putting all your eggs and selling everything to this one thing, it's not the smartest move in my opinion. So, budget accordingly, but plan for 2 months. So instead of, $1,000 to $2,000 a month, it might be, $2,000 to $4,000. But just don't be surprised by those numbers. Okay, then you got the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, that's $97. And then the Amazon seller account, which is $40 a month, and then the Jungle Scout web app, which I pay $39 a month, so that's $80 a month right there. And then, of course, please don't forget you have to make enough to cover whatever your current living expenses are. So that means, your rent or your mortgage, whatever you're paying to stay in whatever place you're staying at, food, insurance, gas for your car, all those small things. It might be tedious, but you need to go through and see how much it costs to live the way you're living. And I promise you'll probably find some money that's going to something stupid. So yeah, that's basically why I don't suggest quitting your day job, and why I suggest you do some, budgeting before you even consider buying the course, because it is good and all, but there are a lot of things not explained right off the bat. And I hope you come across this video and discover things to help you out. But anyway, don't let this video discourage you by any means. Of course, I'm going to say the course is great because I've had success, but I think, this is like a broken record. As long as you take your time, as long as you're smart about it, I really think if this is something you're looking for, this can be very, very good for you. But just realize, if it was easy, if it was really easy, everybody and their mom would do it. And that's why everybody in the group isn't as successful. I wouldn't even consider myself that successful yet. I've just figured out what works after doing this for 5 months. I hope to share it with you. Hopefully in the next 5 months, then I'll be starting doing like $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 of profit a month before taxes. But I feel like after watching, so I don't know how many videos are gonna be after this, at least 5 or 6 more. But if you've watched my first video, which is the review of the course, and then this video, and you're feeling like you're ready to buy the course, I do have an affiliate link. I know, I'm an affiliate, this whole thing is biased, blah blah blah. But if you feel like you're ready to purchase it, you're ready to go, then if you want to, you can use my affiliate link, it's down in the description. But I really want you guys to ask any questions and make sure you cover all your financial bases at least before you consider buying it. The last thing I want is for, any of you guys to watch this video and be like, oh my god, this kid's making so much money, I'm going to buy it right now. And then, yeah, just dig yourself a bigger hole. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. Just want to help you guys out. Next video, I plan on showing you some actual live research, what it's kind of all about. Kind of basically the next step after you buy all this stuff, what you kind of go into next. Cool. So, subscribe if you want to. Be kind to people. Be awesome. See you guys.